Hello everyone, it's Dark7. Today we are playing VIVI Artifacts, and this card is almost like a one card combo. It's a 3 mana creature that combos with everything in your deck. You're just playing 0 mana artifacts, 1 mana spells, repealing the 0 mana artifacts back into your hand, replaying them. Cori-Steel Cutter there to make tokens each turn. Cori-Steel Cutter is super good in this deck, making token super easy to make token every single turn starting from turn 2. Later in the game it can give haste and trample to Vivi when it gets large, and it can really one shot or just kill your opponent in a couple of turns. Okay, so I worked on a list. I started with Paradoxical Outcome. Paradoxical Outcome wasn't bad. My initial list was very close to this one. I had like a 4 Vivi, 2 Flame of Anor in the main, 2 in the side, and I had, I think, some lands instead of DeLorean reveals, and I had 2 Paradoxical Outcome in a deck. That was my initial version, and like 7-8 days ago, and it worked pretty decent. But with a few changes, it feels like it's working better. So I had a 4th Ember in the beginning, and 2 Ainers in the main, and the small tweaks really mattered, especially the land count. I think I didn't have Lorien revealed in the beginning, in the initial list. I think this was a huge difference. I noticed that Lorien really won me some games, and I think I played too few lands in the initial builds to play like 3 mana spells like Vivi and Flame of Anor. And now I'm super happy with this build. I feel like this deck is crazy powerful, large potential. It has some bad matchups, but it has so much like very easy games, free wins, that it truly feels as broken as it gets in modern at times. Just getting the wins out of nowhere, just play the Mox Opal, repeal, replay the Mox Opal, then you draw into some other crazy thing, and it just snowballs and it goes into bunch of damage. And the deck is truly fun to both fun to play, super strong, at times feels very broken, and can win out of nowhere and can get out of very hard situations. Okay, definitely beatable, definitely can be target hated, lot of hate out there for this build. But I was able to deal with it. I think Havar Mites in the sideboard are kind of mandatory to deal with that type of hate. You have repeals in the main, but that's sometimes not enough. Havar Mites deal well with graveyard hate like like Stony Silence or High Noon, Deafening Silence, those type of cards. Havar might definitely need it there. You might wonder why I have a Gravedigger Cage in the sideboard, because they stop my own Emery. But I feel like that is my best card to sideboard in against a Neoform, and I've been having troubles with Neoform, so I think it's maybe worth it to include 2 cages for them. But also, like, these slots could be used to play like a Harbinger and have a better matchup against decks where Harbinger is good, and also it could be used for something else like the Rebels. I like Rebel Salvo lately in the Cori-Steel Cutter decks. It's a 3 mana removal that can kill red removal that can kill Ketramos. I think that is also big. So depending on your metagame, you could choose between those decks. And okay, so before we go to the gameplay, let me remind you of my Decktionary profile. So let me point out that these 2 tiers are zoo tiers. So base tier and zoo tier are both zoo tiers, and in the base tier you get these 5 guides here, and you get access to them, and in the zoo tier you also get access to these 2 guides, Fable and the Zoo and Frog Zoo, but also all these articles with 11,000 words on zoo, updated guides and a lot of thoughts about tips and tricks and a lot of different matchups and just a bunch of content for concerning Zoo and its gameplay. Okay, so also notice that Eldrazi tier here is totally separate from these two tiers. It only includes the Eldrazi content, so this huge Eldrazi aggro sideboard guide, which also contains like 30 pages of thoughts on archetype and Rudokan's guide for different versions with Mycospawn and Written Chrysalis. And that's it. Okay, so we can now go to the gameplay. Link for the Decktionary is down below in the video description. You can check that out. Okay, so let us see the gameplay and see how the game went. The gameplay is truly just amazing. Okay, so game 1, I played against Samwise combo. Opponent started with early birthing ritual, and they sacrifice the Safekeeper, find the Orcish Bowmaster, pass the turn. Okay, so I keep Repeal on top, and I go for Cori-Steel Cutter and Mishra Bubble, create a Monk token, and continue attacking them, try to pressure their life total. I have Vivi. Vivi could potentially do some strong turns here, so let's see how that played out. Okay, so I cracked the bubble, they get the ping with Bowmaster, attack me down to 13, we are both on 13, and now opponent goes for Ruthless Lawbringer. I did not expect that, but actually card's decent, and they kill my Cori-Steel Cutter. It seems decent in a Birthing Ritual deck of this type. Okay, so opponent goes for Birthing Ritual and finds Sephiroth and actually sacrifices the Bowmaster. Okay, so let's see what happens next. Now this is my turn 3, so this is Vivi turn. I go for the Mox Ember. Get mana, use Repeal, and then I can replay the Mox and I also draw a card. Here is another Repeal, and sometimes you can see this deck just goes crazy like this. Okay, here we go, another Repeal, and I can now replay Ember once again. So I go for an Ember, Vivi already did 5 damage, and I can now go for another mana here, play the Shadow Spear, and then I'll have enough mana to cast both Galvanic Blast, Phase, Flame of Honor, kill their blocker, and basically finish them off. So my Monk token is huge. I now get 6 mana, so I can play everything. I can even flip the Tamio. Okay, so I go for a Tamio to flip it in case they have some. I don't think they can have something here, but yeah. I'm drawing 2 cards, flipping Tamio, killing their only blocker here, and growing Vivi more. And now I'm clear my way and I have lethal here, opponent concedes, so that is quick game 1. Okay, so in game 1 I decided to board a lot of cards. So I got Gravedigger Cages and Havar Mites, Soul Guide Lantern, Fire Magic, a lot of cards from the sideboard for this matchup. And here it is. Okay, so I decide to keep this one. It's looking decent. I have turn 1 Emery, and actually I have turn 1 Tamio plus Emery. That's really good. Okay, opponent starts with Cauldron Familiar. I go Tamio, Mox, Bubble, Emery. Very strong game, turn 1 obviously. Okay, so I crack the bubble here. Opponent goes for 1 mana, plays Viscera Seer. I think they have the Samwise in the combo, so they kept a combo hand. Okay, I find a red mana here with my Lorien and replay the bubble from the yard. and I can't play anything else, but I can. I wanted to crack the bubble here before they draw mana and Bowmaster or something like that. So I just attack with Tamio, draw another card with bubble. Opponent now draws a second land and they go for a rumble. Okay, so they go for rumble. They put another Cauldron Familiar in the yard. And they put Samwise Gamgee to their hand. So they had Viscerous here, but it is dead. I think that was a mistake from them. They're choosing to cast the Viscerous here. I think they should just hold it. Okay, I go for a Vivi, play a Mishra Bubble. I go for a Mishra Bubble, play Soul Guide Lantern, growing my Vivi, taking their Cauldron Familiar from the graveyard. And actually, this Soul Guide Lantern is preventing them from comboing. And I have a Mox Ember, so I can use Galvanic Blast to kill the Samwise Gamgee if they play it. And I go in with Tamio, as I said, get the clue. I can then use Vivi is just very good with Tamio because you can use mana to crack clues that you always have like a mana sink, so I like that a lot. Opponent actually has double Samwise Gamgee in their hand right now and also two Cauldron Familiars. So they have combo pieces. And I went for Galvanic Blast, end of turn. Replay Bubble from the yard. I go, my Vivi is a 4/4. I go for attack, make another clue. Opponent jumps. And here I flip the Tamio. I still have a Galvanic Blast. I can grow my Vivi even more, doing a lot of damage. And here I cast another Mox Ember. My opponent is on 6. I have a Galvanic Blast for 5 more damage. And my opponent concedes. So I got the match there. And yeah, opponent conceded even though I still had to play one more spell to win. Okay, so next match. Game 1, I played the Lorien, played the Saga, cycled the Lorien, get the Steam Vents, and now I can go turn to Cori-Steel Cutter into Mishra Bubble. Get a Monk token. I'm playing a Vivi Mirror here. My opponent is also on Vivi. Not same list as mine. Okay, opponent attacking with Dragavan here. I'm happy to trade. They go for a Thundering Falls, and now I get to find something with Urza Saga. Can make the construct because I played it on turn 1. I find the Ether Spell Bomb, and I go for Emery. I could even maybe it was good to equip Emery here and immediately try to use its ability. Maybe it was a fail not to do this. I think, yeah, I think I probably should have done this and get another card with Emery. Just equip on Emery, get the bubble. I think that was better. But it didn't really matter much. I had a good hand. And okay, so here I have Vivi in hand. Opponent cast their Vivi as well, but they didn't do anything else. So I go for Mox Ember, then I cast Vivi, trigger the Cori-Steel Cutter, and I go for a bubble from the graveyard again. And this time now I can use Vivi to kill their Vivi. I think that is the most important thing to do right now. And yeah, here it is. My opponent concede and I kill their Vivi. They only have 2 cards in hand and I have just too much stuff on the field, so opponent concedes. Okay, so time for a sideboarding. I bring in some Graveyard Hate, some Havar Mites, and I think that is all I need here, plus couple of Rebukes, trim some cards, and I'm ready. Okay, so I have a decent hand here. This is also like I can play turn 1 Emery. Those types of hands are always good. Can't be bad. Okay, so I go for a turn 1 Emery. That's pretty solid, and I also play Havar Might, and I also have mana open with Mox Opal. So if my opponent plays a Cori-Steel Cutter, I can immediately use Havar Might on their turn to exile it, which is pretty good. Also, I milled over Soul Guide Lantern with Emery. That is great news for me. Opponent plays Cori-Steel Cutter, gets a token. It's really sweet that I can just exile it with Havar Might, and I now have Havar Might in the yard. Okay, so here I go again for a Soul Guide Lantern, repeal their Monk token, attack them for 3 down to, they are now down on 12 life. Opponent plays 3 mana VIVI plus Mox Opal gets a counter, and Lava Spore Boots gets them another counter, so they get out of Galvanic Blast range. That was a big deal here for me. Okay, so I play... I need a double spelling here. I can go for attack. My opponent will have to let this through if they don't want for their VV to die. Okay, so I now go Galvanic Blast phase to grow my Monk token and put my opponent down to 8. And I have Metallic Rebuke, so I can counter some big spells if they don't use the VV mana. Okay, my opponent goes Flame of Aner, and this is perfect because they only have 2 mana with VV, so I can go for Metallic Rebuke, but my opponent actually has a Metallic Rebuke of their own, so they were able to resolve my Flame of Aner, put me in weird position. And now they got a really large VV, but they're staying back with it in defense because they are very low on life, 6 life. And I got a Soul Guide Lantern, I got a Flame of Aner. Okay, I go for draw 2, and I go for Soul Guide Lantern, make another token with Cori-Steel Cutter, and my opponent concedes. That is it. Okay, so let's check out match 3. Again, I start with Urza Saga, I go for Lorien, I can find the Steam Vents, and turn 2 I can go Mox Ember into Emery. If I have double Emery, so if my Emery dies, I'm good. Okay. Opponent plays Misty Rainforest, pass a turn, I draw another land for a turn, and I go for my game plan. Just Mox Ember, play Emery, and it seems like my opponent was on Living End. They cycled the Curator and played Subtlety. I have another Emery in my hand, so I decide to put this one on the bottom. And now since I played Saga on turn 1, I was able to get Soul Guide Lantern before their turn 3, so I was able to okay, so I was able to resolve my Soul Guide Lantern, which was really huge, and I also milled 4 with my Emery, and I got another Emery actually. Okay, so I didn't want to do anything else this turn. I play a land and pass the turn. My opponent is not in a great situation here. Only one creature in their hand, and I decide to keep Cori-Steel Cutter on top and let them Boseiju my Soul Guide Lantern there. Okay, so I go for Cori-Steel Cutter here and try to replay my Soul Guide Lantern. I go for a Soul Guide Lantern, and opponent expectedly has a force of negation, only 2 creatures in their yard, I go for another Emery, kill one my Emery because of the legendary rule, and mill over Vivi. So I have Vivi and Emery in the yard, that is pretty good for me, so they need to fill their yard more for them to be uh, in a position to play the Living End. Okay, they play the Generous End and shock in the Breeding Pool, passing the turn. On my turn, I go Mishra Bubble, repeal on the Moxember, get the counters, and now I can just replay the Moxember, replay the Opal, grow my monks quite a bit. A lot of Prowess triggers here, and now I'm attacking for lethal, and I expected my opponent has endurance, and I just kill their endurance and go in for lethal damage. And yeah, with my monk tokens, so that's it. Got the win. And yeah, postboard rebukes and consigns and soul guide lantern goes in. Gravedigger's cage unfortunately doesn't stop the living end, so no use of them here. Flame of Honors go out. A couple of Tamios, I think Emrys and Vivis are better than Tamio in this matchup. My counter spells go in and I trim some of other cards like Repeal. I don't have much use for it except on my own artifacts, so I trim 2 to fit the counters. Okay, so that hand wasn't great, and here I have a hand with double Saga and double Cori-Steel Cutter, so I decided to test my luck with that. This hand is very weak to like force of vigor hands, but I decide to risk it. Okay, I go for a turn 2 Cori-Steel Cutter plus Mox, and I get the token, monk token. I can start attacking, pressuring them, and if they go for Living End in that situation, I think that's fine for me. And unfortunately, opponent here plays Teferi and bounces my Urza Saga, which means I won't be finding, also losing mana, but I won't be finding a Soul Guide Lantern to prevent them from comboing. Okay, I killed the Teferi, pass the turn, play another Cori-Steel Cutter. Opponent here has another Teferi, and yeah, bounces my token, passes the turn. And now this is a very good turn for me. I resolved the Soul Guide Lantern, this was really huge. Then I go for Galvanic Blast and go face with Galvanic Blast and play the Steam Vents. I can now repeal the Moxembers and try to go for lethal. So I bounce the Moxember, replay the Moxember. My creatures are 4/4 and it's enough for lethal. I have 8 damage. My opponent concedes. They don't have a response to that. So that's it. I don't have any more time to go through more games with the VV build. But I'm very happy. This build overperformed and it's been so fun to play it. A lot of times when you play it, it feels broken. It has some polarizing matchups, as I said before, can be hated if like it becomes like the best deck in Modern. It can be hated, there is a lot of hate for it, but also it can get out of hard situations. Thanks to the repeal, thanks to the Havar Mites and the Saga, it can play against a bunch of stuff. There's plenty of card advantage in Tamio, Emery, Flame of Honors, Vivi capitalizing on all that, and Repeal is kind of just a perfect card in this build, getting the wins out of nowhere with Vivi on the field. As you saw over there, I didn't even expect in some situations to go that well. It just goes off like it's a one card combo. Literally, Vivi is a one card combo. You just start casting the 0 mana artifacts and the repeals and other 1 mana cards, and it just kills your opponent without even expecting to go down that route. Okay, so that's it. I am happy with the sideboard, but as I said, the Gravedigger's Cage are specific for Neoform. It can be Rebel Salvo, which is a specific hate for Ketramos, the removal which kills Ketramos, red removal, Rebel Salvo called, and I think that's good. Also can be either like Harbinger of the Seas as a land hate, or can be like Obsidian Charmau if you have a lot of colorless Eldrazi, colorless Tron in the meta. So this is kind of like the flex slot. I really like these cards. I think 2 Hevarmites are mandatory, another Needle and another Lantern are also mandatory. You could play like probably 2 Fire Magic, probably enough. I like 3, but 2 is because Boros is so widespread. Metallic, I like really having couple of rebukes. I would say this is my flex slot, and maybe like a 4th consign also can be considered as a flex slot. So I really like these 11 cards in the side, and I really like entire 75 deck is just working perfectly. I would not change anything at the moment. I really like it like this. I was considering like expressive iteration, but I really don't think it's necessary. The card is working great. I would not play expressive iteration in this build at the moment. Okay, so that's all for now. Hope you like the league, hope you like the gameplay. There were some crazy wins, crazy turns I had with this deck. It was so fun, and also deck just feels broken. And Vivi, you saw in this league getting the wins out of nowhere was both exciting to try when you're playing it in the beginning, and just trying out different things. But this is the build I initially had like 8 days ago, and with just a few small adjustments now it feels much smoother, especially with land base changes. I'm now very happy with this. This is my final build, and I don't want to change anything else. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching for the end. Friendly reminder to click like, click subscribe, comment down below in the video. Tell me what is your favorite Vivi build? What do you think? Do you like maybe Paradoxical Outcome builds or Agatha Soul Cauldron builds with Vivi? There are some options still to be explored, but this build is just super strong, and probably will be one of the best ways to play it. Maybe there are even better ways. There is still a lot to explore. Okay, so again, that's all for today, and goodbye.